Right, okay. This is actually a sort of another session 0, as we're going to see if kitty cat number 2 is okay to play Shadows of Brimstone. So, as it's a session 0, the first thing you've got to do is choose your character. Would you like to have a character that is thematically from feudal Japan, from the old west of America, or one of the other worlds?
Other worlds.
Okay, well, there's only 2 left from other worlds. You can either be one of the Tridaran aliens from their sort of World War One, or you can be a Jagano native from the swamp. They're a more sort of tribal native. Would you like me to explain what the things on the card mean?
Yeah.
So if you look at the 2 of them like that, there's your 2. What you've got is, that is how many times you can be hit before you become unconscious, how much damage you can take. They've both got 11. That is how much sanity damage you can take before you go fall unconscious. So some things will deal with your sanity rather than your health. That's your physical health. Next to each of those is what you have to roll to avoid damage to that. So that's 4 or more on a d6. You did know you've got some sanity damage. So you can see how that's a 6. Well, 4 more on a 6-sided dice. So you've got about half a chance from both of those. So that's what those mean. You then have an initiative. That tells us who goes first each turn. The higher your initiative, the more likely you are to go first. Okay, you both got 4.
Some enemies, though, kitty cat number 2, have higher initiative than you, and they go before you.
That's true.
But if you have the same initiative as a monster, you normally go first.
They go first.
Oh.
You, as a kitsune, are the only exception to that.
Oh.
Okay. Also, right here, this is how you hit things. Use either ranged attacks or melee attacks. Now, that is how much you need on a 6-sided dice to succeed. So that is if you're on ranged, if a Jagano native, you need 5 or more on a 6-sided dice, or 4 or more to hit them in close combat melee. So is it more likely to hit them with a ranged attack or a close combat melee attack? If one is 5 and one is 4, which is more likely?
I do not like chestnuts.
Okay, you don't like chestnuts. Which is more likely? Are you more likely to roll 4 or more on a dice, or are you more likely to roll 5 or more on a dice?
4 more.
4 or more, correct. So as you can see, the native isn't very good at ranged. They're only 5 or more, whereas the alien is better. The alien is quite good at range. It's got 3 or more, as opposed to 4 or more. Yep. There's then skills at the top. That is how many dice you have to roll when trying to do that kind of skill check.
She's got better luck than me if she chooses the top one. Yeah, I'm choosing.
Yeah. So that's what those mean. There's then some special abilities there that we'll come to when we need to. So you're going to choose the native. Maybe a Jagano native, are you?
I live in the swamp. That's great.
You do live in the swamp.
And then you're visiting home because that's where we're going.
Oh, we're going to, yeah, oh, we decided that's our next mission, is it, to go to the swamp? Right.
No, you find me in the swamp.
So let's have a look. So you're going to take the Jagano swamp native. So you have got to remember all this. You are +1 damage on all your attacks against beast enemies. So you're better at hunting animals. You also gain +2 initiative on the first turn of an ambush attack. That means you're less likely to be surprised by ambushes. Primitive. You may not use guns, books, or tech items because you just don't know how to use them. You are otherworld native Jagano, so you start with a Swamp of Jagano personal item, and you are +3 lore whilst in the swamps of Jagano. And I need to get you a tribal shield and a darkstone blade first. Okay.
Sorry.
Right, that was at So let's get the personal items for Gigano natives. You get to choose one of these at random to start with. What have you got? Can you read it? Raptor tooth necklace. That's what it says. Right, just trying to find. You get to choose a particular special skill to start with out of the Gigano natives. So, okay, you've got 3 skills you can choose to be one of. You can either be a treetop hunter, which means it changes your ranged it changes your range to hit from 5 to 4, so you get better at shooting at range. You also start with a bow, and if you kill an enemy with that bow, you get an extra shot with it. So take that skill if you want to be good with bows and have a bow to start with. This one, if you start your activation adjacent to one or more enemies, recover a grit on a roll of 5 or more. Also, once per turn, while you have a shield equipped, you may force one enemy hit just rolled against you to be re-rolled. So that you use if you want to be more sort of defensive, good with shields, but also to get grit back, to get re-rolls. Then this one is the Serpent Slayer. You are +1 move and may move through other models. You are also immune to poison markers. And you start with Darkstone daggers. That one. So you get to move through other people, and I need to find you some Darkstone daggers.
Does that mean she can land on the same tile as someone?
No, she says you can move through them.
So she wanted to go diagonal to a square that was occupied by a piece, and then wanted to like move forward from that one. Would she be able to do it?
Yes, but it would take 2 moves.
If I can go through people, that means the person who's close to me gets horror points.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's because I just went through you.
Yeah, but you're not a ghost.
You're not a ghost. You are not a ghost, like Orchid.
So I need to find you Darkstone daggers, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That replaces.
I can get one for all of these. Thistle is licking me.
Global shield arsenal, Darkstone daggers. Wow. Okay.
Are you good?
Yeah. You get +2 combat and +1 initiative whilst you're using those. They use up both your hands. So there you go. That's your first set of weapons, Darkstone daggers. They mean you roll 4 dice when you attack in melee combat.
I want to see my character, please.
Right, and you want to see your model, don't you? Let's get the Gigano native.
Well,
I can't
that
believe.
is sorting out Kitty Cat number 2's character. Can I introduce him to the doggo?
Okay, you can introduce people to the dog.
And Cactus Bob.
And Cactus Bob.
Cactus Bob! So this is my doggo. Her name is Thistle. And she's been upgraded to the best doggo, man's best friend.
And I
And
guess
this-
you can't see her properly.
She is tiny. And this is Cactus Bob.
Even though it's a pretty name, I really still laugh.
It's Dad's ally. The dog is mine.
And Orchid is both of yours.
What?
Orchid is both of yours.
No, Orchid. The dog is both of ours. Orchid is Dad's. That's Dad's and the dog is both of ours. We both paid for the dog. The dog is licking me. The dog is licking me.
Here you go. We'll just show everyone.
Now it's licking Dad.
There we go. That is the Gigano native female one. There you go.
This is the dog.
That's the dog. So we've got a name for your Gigano native.
Lilac.
Lilac. Okay. Now you also, at the start of each game, get to choose something to go in your side bag. I need to get your side bag card. You can choose between a bandage, which heals D6 health wounds, some whiskey, which heals D6 sanity wounds, some dynamite, which you can throw to blow things up, or, you, especially because you're from Gigano, you can start with some Gigano swamp fungus, which heals both D6 sanity and D6 health when you use it.
I want the fungus.
You want the fungus.
That sounds nice.
I can heal anybody.
Yeah, I
I'm a
don't
fungus.
really.
So there is your little fungus.
Fungus.
My fungus.
Swamp fungus.
It's a swamp fungus.
I need to get you
Side bag.
a side bag. Yeah.
I wonder what the arcane powder comes in.
If they look all forward, it looks like they're like, who is she? Who is she? I'm not.
The doggo.
There you go. So here's a side bag. You can actually put side bag tokens. You can only have 5 in it at once. Put it there. Okay.
That's really
My
pretty.
fungus.
There's your fungus. Right then.
The doggo likes kitty cats.
Okay. Are we done with character creation? I think we are. Are we ready for an adventure?
Yes!
Okay. Right. We'll just stop this one